We are live with the Black
Yay!
Podcast. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody, we are here with the illustrious, amazing entrepreneur guru, everything. VR Maddox. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Miss Ashley. Thank you so much. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. So excited. I hope all the people that I invited are tuning in, or they'll see the replay, right?
Yes, yes, yes. We are live, and we are so very excited. So when y'all,
Can you hear me okay?
yes, I can hear you perfectly.
All right, great.
Hear you perfectly. We can see you, all that good stuff. So, in normal fashion, let's hop straight into this interview because we've got a lot to talk about. You know, you're
Yes.
on the hill, you've got some very awesome entrepreneurial ventures. We want to talk about Loudon. We're going to talk about some fun stuff today. So, let's hop straight into this interview. So, you have had, as I mentioned, an illustrious career in women's advocacy, consulting, and politics. What do you believe has been the key to your success?
Being a nice person.
Yeah.
That has been one of the biggest keys to my success. And I know we're going to talk about it, but I'm writing a book, a semi-autobiographical book about my life from age 16 forward,
Okay.
about how being a nice person and an engaging person has gotten me through a lot of trials in life, and that's what I go. That's what I go by. That's what I live by.
Awesome. Yeah, they say you catch more bees with honey than with vinegar, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's all about the personality and engagement.
Yes. So true. So, what would you tell yourself, knowing what you know now, you've had a very amazing career over the years. What would you tell yourself if you could go back in time and talk to yourself at the beginning of your career?
I would tell myself not to have a credit card in college, freshman year, no credit cards. Okay. Because I think they see the buses unloading with those fresh faces from all over the
Yes.
country, all over the world. And the first thing they do is give you a credit card. Oh, a credit card. Pizza for everybody.
Right.
No, you have to pay it off at the end of the month. They don't tell you that, right?
Yes. That's
Oh, no credit cards, first year college. And I would also tell my younger self to get a security clearance. Get a security clearance before you go to college,
Yes. Okay.
because it will serve you well and it will position you in life so well that it'll just blow your mind. So, yes, get a security clearance.
So awesome. Those are some good tips.
Top two
Definitely.
tips.
I definitely did not listen to that first tip. I definitely had my first credit card my freshman year,
I did too.
like many of us. And so, tell us, for women who want to get involved in advocacy on a larger scale, what would you tell them are some great first steps?
So the first step is to know who you are. Okay. High level of self actualization is always the key, because if you know yourself, then you know what your strengths are, you know what your weaknesses are, and you also know what makes you happy, what gives you pleasure, and what's fulfilling for you.
Yes.
You take all of that and you determine how
Yeah.
you want to use that energy to
Mm,
help others,
mm, mm.
to advocate for others. Yes.
So true. And what you can't pour out of an empty cup. You know what I mean? So as long as you are pouring into your cup, you'll be able to pour into others as well, for sure.
Right. Absolutely.
So tell us, let's talk about something fun, something fun. Tell us about one of your ventures, the Girlfriends Group, and how you seek to empower women through this platform.
So the girlfriend group changed my life. Okay. It was created out of a sad time. It was actually created as a tribute to my late sister, Valerie. My cousin and I created the community as a tribute to her life.
Mm.
But what happened was What happened was
What
it
did happen?
turned into something that we could not have even imagined. We started out with some friends and close relatives at a makeover party
Okay.
of 10 women, 10 to 12
Mhm.
were there, I think, back in 2009, August of 2009 to be exact. And it went from 10 women to well over 3,000 women around the world. We were not only a community of women, network, share, encourage, and support with our tagline, but we created a speaker series, an education series, a employment community, which still runs to this day on Facebook. And we created a mastermind group. We had anything and everything available for women to embrace and be successful. Our motto was, uplift women. Our other motto was, um, if you are a girlfriend, let's think about
Mhm.
friend relationships. Okay,
Mhm.
they're so encouraging and so uplifting in our lives in general. But if you are a true girlfriend and a friend comes to you and she says, Ashley, I need $20.
Mhm.
That's up. And if you have $20,
Mhm.
not only are you going to give it to her, but you're not going to ask her a bunch of questions why she needs.
Right.
You're just going to let her know that you're there to support her, whatever she's going through.
Yes.
You're not going to expect her to pay it back.
Correct.
All right. That's a girlfriend. That's what
Right.
girlfriends do for one another. And
Mhm.
also one another's counselors, psychiatrists, bartenders, whatever you want.
All of that.
All of that.
Yes.
And so my sister was a true girlfriend to her friends and
Mhm.
vice versa, uh, all their lives. They met on a college campus and they stayed friends for 50 years.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's why we called it the girlfriend group, because we wanted to encompass and embrace what Valerie and her girlfriends meant to each other. And we wanted to expand that globally. We did it. It ran for 9 years,
Wow.
8.5. Yes.
So awesome. So very awesome. And I love that, you did that for your sister because, that stems from not only heart, it stems from, y'all's relationship and you wanted to extend that relationship to others.
Hmm.
Like, and so let's talk about your other entrepreneurial venture, VR Maddox Consulting. It was founded 12 years ago to aid and help survivors. Talk about your venture from, being an entrepreneur, from,
Hmm.
advocacy on the roof, and how you utilize your wealth of knowledge and experience to help others.
So VR Maddox Consulting LLC was started out of necessity. Since I was about 16 years old, I always knew that I did not want to work for anybody else my entire life. I just
Mhm.
did. I knew that at a very young age. And so going through life, I found myself, fast forward, found myself at Verizon,
Mhm.
running one of their largest divisions. At that time, I was in charge of training and development globally. And so one day they came through and they said, "Well, we're gonna lay you guys off. It's gonna be about 5,000 of you that we're gonna lay off, and we're gonna do it a week before Thanksgiving."
Oh, wow.
And
Mhm.
that's what they did. So just before that happened, I sat in my queue and I started VR Maddox Consulting LLC. And believe me, I had no idea what that was gonna be. I had no idea what I was gonna do with it. All I knew is that I was gonna be an entrepreneur and I was going to not do the things that other people did in their companies. I was gonna do it the right way.
Yeah.
The rest is history.
Yeah. And we had a conversation about that, how you wanted to do things differently from, some of your peers or some of the people, in your same groups. So talk a little bit about that for us.
When you are an entrepreneur, well, I'll just talk about myself, right? So I spent a lot of time working for AOL. And when you spend a lot of time working for AOL, you drink the AOL Kool-Aid, right? During my time before I got to AOL, I was always buttoned up, suit, vest, stockings, heels,
Mm-hmm.
nice suits. Oh, that was it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to AOL and I figured out who I was. I've been a jeans and t-shirt kind of girl ever since.
Everything.
And it's all about being authentic, being who you are. Okay. I hope I never have to put on another dress, skirt, suit, stockings, heels ever again in life, unless I want to,
Unless you want to.
right?
Yeah.
So I take the Mark Zuckerberg approach in the casual dress. I believe people should be comfortable. You should wear what you want to wear, uh, you know, with limitations.
Right. Right.
All right. Just, look nice, feel good, feel comfortable. So in VR Maddox Consulting, we don't do all that. We, as we are, we're comfortable. We are excited about the work that we do, and we're ourselves. Okay. So when my company starts to grow real big, and if I happen to get an office building or office space or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
taking that mentality and that outlook with me. Okay. Because when people are comfortable and excited about what they're doing, they don't want to have to be worried about what they have to wear every day.
Right.
Okay. Just come to work, do a great job, and carry on with life. That's my motto. So that's part of my brand. Um, I'm doing a whole new brand push for the company right now. I'm revamping my website, and it's just going to reflect a lot about who I am, who I have become over the last 30 years, and who I want to be going forward.
So awesome. Perfect. We as Black women, we constantly have to reinvent ourselves, right?
Yeah,
In different spaces. And so it's so exciting, to hear and, to see how you are reinventing yourself, staying current, staying on top of everything. Because that's what you do, right?
that's what I do. That's what I do. I tell everybody, hey, I might be a Gen Xer, but I'm a Gen Xer with millennial tendencies.
Yes. It's so
But with the millennials, I stopped wearing a watch for a long time because millennials don't wear watches. But most
right, right.
because you got it on your phone, right?
Exactly.
Ashley, that did not work out well for me. Okay, and then I ended up getting an iWatch. So there you go.
Yep, I have a little Fitbit on right now.
Yeah. I surround myself with a bunch of young, energetic people. Energetic, just smart, talented, brilliant people. How you think I ended up on your show, right?
Thank you. I appreciate
That's
that.
how we connected because you guys give me so much energy and you're so innovative and smart and talented and creative. And that's the energy I want to be around.
Yes, for sure. So we mentioned this a little bit at the beginning of the episode. So let's get into it now. You're coming out with a memoir, with a book. So tell us about that process and what you envision for your career, your next venture as an author.
I'm not quite sure when I decided to write this book, but I know I've been trying to finish it for a long time. But 2021 is going to be it. I'm finishing the book this year. It is called The Politics of Nice: How
Yeah.
a Catholic Schoolgirl navigated through the halls of power. And it's about how I started out working as an intern, after school intern on Capitol Hill, and how I navigated those halls of power just as an intern. I was a gopher. I delivered packages, I typed documents, I answered the phone. I don't think I got coffee, but I helped with lunch and did anything anybody wanted me to do. And I will tell anybody to this day that is absolutely the best job I've ever had in my entire life, besides in my own company.
Yeah, so awesome. And so let's get into some fun questions, fun like trivia questions for VR Maddox. What are some of your favorite Black films and documentaries?
Ah, well, I am a movie buff, and I do have top 25 Vanessa Maddox all-time favorite movies. And my favorite well, I can't pinpoint the favorite one, but I'll say my top three are Trading Places,
Okay.
Coming to America,
Yes.
and a tie between Color Purple
Hmm.
and what's the other? It's a Christmas movie. Oh shoot, This Christmas.
This Christmas.
Yeah, the Chris Brown and
Yes.
Greta Divine. Yeah, I would say those are my tops
I love
for
those too.
Black movies. Yes, I'm sure I have
Mhm,
others, but those are the top
mhm.
for me.
Yes, awesome. And so who is on your music playlist right now?
Oh my God, you don't have enough time for that, Miss Ashley. My musical tastes span the spectrum. Right now, I'm listening to nothing but old school between the 80s and the 2000s. So I listen to a lot of old school hip hop, your Jay-Z's and your Nas and your Tupacs and the other old school hip hop and R&B.
Mm,
Huge fan of Jay-Z. He's just a pinnacle of hip hop stardom to me.
mm.
Um, I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of the Notorious B.I.G. Have
Yeah.
all his music, all his whole catalog, I think I own. And my 16-year-old, I am now schooling him and how great old school hip hop is. I have on my Eric B. and Rakim 86 now representing.
Yes.
And that's mostly what's on my playlist. But I am also a fan of disco. I am a huge disco fan. So I love the Bee Gees and I love Debbie Harry and all of those greats and David Bowie, all of those greats in disco. So yeah.
So exciting. Yes, I am with you. I love old school hip hop, old school R&B as well. I'm an old soul when it comes to my musical tastes. So yeah,
Awesome. We're gonna have to compare notes one
yeah,
day.
for sure. And so who are some of your heroes and sheroes?
You know, I had to really think about this question. Uh, my hero in business has to be Mr. Warren Buffett.
Okay.
I really admire his integrity. I admire how he still lives in the same house he bought in 1966. I like that he had humble beginnings and that he is still teaching. He's still a
Yeah.
teacher. And one of my more modern day or younger heroes in business is Gary Vaynerchuk. And I like him because he is an absolute crazy man. And he wants to buy the New York Jets. And he's a social media beast. And he's taught me a lot about just being authentic, being yourself, um, putting your family first,
Yeah.
putting God first before anything else. And I just get a lot of energy from him as well.
So,
In terms of sheroes,
mhm.
Maya Angelou,
Yes, for sure.
Winfrey, um, my aunts, my
Mhm.
mother, my sisters, my older cousins. They raised me, they birthed me, and they've had a tremendous impact on my life.
Mm. Yeah, some of those people.
And
Yes.
my girlfriends.
Yes.
Can't
We
forget them.
cannot forget those.
Yeah, the squad, the front row, my girls. They're very important as well.
For sure. And so, um, let's ask this question. So, as someone who used to work on the Hill in Congress, we've had a lot going on in the news right now.
Yeah.
With riots on the Capitol and everything that's going on. So, what do you think about the riots and the lawlessness of the people who participated? What did you see when you saw that on the news?
Well, I think I was traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I know what it is to have PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had PTSD, but I can just imagine.
Right.
I'm still not over that. It's still very fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was an atrocity. Um, Everyone involved, everyone that was in that Capitol building needs to be arrested, tried, and convicted and jailed.
Mm-hmm. For
Full,
sure.
full stop.
Yeah.
And I still have friends on the Hill that were either in the Capitol building or in one of the Senator House office buildings. And I
Mm-hmm.
did manage to speak to all of them briefly.
Okay.
They were all fine,
Okay, that's good.
back to work up there. They're traumatized. And I think as Americans, we all have to come to some kind of resolution within ourselves
Mm-hmm.
about what happened and how we, the citizens, are going to carry this forward, because now it is our responsibility to go out and find some way to work in our communities. If
Yeah.
you don't do that, shame on you. There's something you can do. Just figure out what that is and do it. And do it.
Sure. And so let's talk a little bit about a fun topic before we close. So let's talk about Loudon Wall Street and everything that you're doing with that.
Yeah, so as a part of my brand, as well as what I did in the past with the girlfriend group, I started about 10 years ago with launching mastermind groups and think tanks.
Mm-hmm.
And my latest think tank effort, I think is the fifth one I've launched, is called Black Wall Street Loudon.
Mm-hmm.
And you all are familiar with the history of the original Black Wall Street, which was a real place in the Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Greenwood section of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it was a real place where Black people, after Reconstruction, settled, and they pretty much created their own, settled their own town.
Mm-hmm.
And they had businesses and banks, and they were teachers and lawyers and doctors and all of that. And an angry white mob came through and burnt down the whole town. That was called Black Wall Street. So if you get a chance, please go Google that and know your history. This is American history.
Yeah.
Okay. So I named my fifth think tank Black Wall Street Loudon, and we are a collective of professionals, from CEOs to students and everyone in between. Is I handpicked this group, and we separated into about 7 groups within Black Wall Street Loudon.
Mm-hmm.
Simply put, we are an amalgamation of uh, problem solvers and solution providers. So we are going to be sitting beside other community groups, social justice groups, nonprofits, corporate entities. We're going to sit beside them and help them solve problems. That's it.
So
We're going to start locally at home, because everything starts at home.
yeah.
Okay. Start locally, expand regionally, expand nationally, and then expand globally. Ultimately, having chapters of Black Wall Streets all over the country.
Yes. Like you said, it starts at home, but when to catch its fire.
Absolutely.
On a
And
spread.
I am indeed on fire right now.
Yes, Miss Lady, you are for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Very excited about everything that we're doing. I feel that the sky is the limit. We can do anything we want. Women are the key. What does your shirt say? The
The
future
future
is
is
what?
female and black.
Female and Black and brown and Asian and Native American and white and purple and blue and pink. It's
Yeah.
everything. So this is a collective effort. We have a lot of work to do to recapture the American spirit from last Wednesday, because that's certainly not who we are.
Right.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you so, so very much for all
Thank you.
all the words that you have shared and sharing your story, sharing your testimony, right? Of
Thank you.
how far you have come and how far your girlfriends have come and your girlfriend group consulting. I want to thank you for that. But unfortunately, we have reached the end of this week's episode. But before we go, what words of motivation would you like to leave our audience with on this week's episode?
Never, ever, ever let anyone tell you what you cannot do. Get your plan, write it down, execute it. Surround yourself with good, thoughtful people that know, like, and trust you, and you know, like, and trust them, and just keep going.
So exciting. And so, where can we find you, VR Maddox Consulting, and the Girlfriend Group on social media and the web?
You can find me everywhere. You can Google me, Vanessa Maddox. I am VR Maddox on IG. I am VR Maddox on Facebook, Twitter, and every other social media. Oh, I am VR Maddox on Clubhouse. Yay, Clubhouse! So you can find me there as well. I'm either jumping in and out of rooms or hosting rooms myself. So I'm very excited about that new medium. And just hit me up if you need anything.
Yes, for sure. Well, you can find us at Black Trees Media everywhere, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. You can come find us, come follow us. This has been an amazing episode of the Black Motivation Podcast. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us, and thank you, VR Maddox, for being our guest.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thanks so much, Ashley.